This is Dave Walsh from Card Talk coming at you with a playthrough of the Saga campaign, and this is the Uruk-hai scenario, and this scenario is quite challenging for the hobbits, I have found. So this is like my 4th or 5th time recording this. Each time I'm getting killed in a different way, so sometimes it's archery, one time it was even locations. Most of the time I'm just being overrun by enemies, so hopefully the hobbits can get through it this time around. Before we get into the setup, let's look at the deck and what we got going on with the campaign log. So this is my Bond of Saga Ship Hobbit deck, and there are a couple of dead cards in the deck. There's the Fellowship of the Ring and the Shire Folk, which cannot be played during the Aragorn scenarios. The Fellowship of the Ring goes on the Ring Bearer. The Shire Folk is played when you have all Hobbit heroes, so Aragorn kind of ruins that for this quest, which brings me to something I probably should have said earlier, is that if this is your first exposure to the sagas, there are certain scenarios where Frodo is the Fellowship hero, and then there are certain scenarios where Aragorn is your Fellowship hero. And so this happens to be an Aragorn quest. It also means that there are a few burdens that get removed, not from the campaign pool, but from the deck right now. There are certain burdens and certain boons that are just associated with the Frodo Fellowship hero. So this is an Aragorn quest, so we are going to remove the Frodo boons and burdens and put the Aragorn boons and burdens in. So that also means that I'm replacing the Mithril shirt with Anduril. So in this scenario specifically, there's lots of stuff. Like I said, there's locations and enemies, and there's also bad treacheries. So this is just a big pain in the neck. But hopefully, if I see Thorngill, unlike other scenarios where I've been putting it on Merry, Thorngill will go on to Fellowship Aragorn, and maybe I can bring out the spirit version of Fellowship Aragorn so that I have access to my cancellation. So we'll see what happens. But I know that I just explained that there are Aragorn and Frodo quests, but you can see I'm going to put Anduril into the deck and not put Mithril shirt in, and Merry is my captured hero. I am not also going to put Weight of the Ring and Gandalf's Delay into the encounter deck. I guess we should get started and set up the quest. Here we have everything going on. So let's set up the campaign card. It says remove Gildor and Glorian and Mr. Underhill from the campaign pool. So that means that those cards get removed completely and they're never going to be used again. So the way that I'm going to handle that is I'm just going to take Mr. Underhill and put him down here. And so then remove each burden with the following burden set icons from the encounter deck. So again, those get removed from the encounter deck, but not from the campaign pool. So Gandalf's Delay is one of them, and then Weight of the Ring is the other one. The other 2 burdens that I've earned, they do not have that campaign symbol or that burden set symbol. Okay, so this one I will overcome by grief. I will put over here, and then the other burden I will shuffle into the encounter deck. The setup doesn't require me to reveal or draw any other cards than what's out there right now. Okay, so now I will put into play and arrange my heroes here. And so I have Old Bogey Stories, and this is the one scenario so far that I have found times to use Old Bogey Stories because there are a few dead cards in my hand, and I also don't have access to the spirit cards right away, so that's usually a problem. So Tireless Ranger,
he's one of them rangers,
goes on to Sam. Leaf Wrapped Lumbus,
Lembas. Elvish Waybread. One small bite is enough to fill the stomach of a grown man. How many did you eat? 4.
Again, goes on to Sam, and then Sting and Andrew get shuffled into my deck after I look at this. And then lastly, I have down here Spirit Aragorn. Not because of his ability, but just so I have access to the Spirit Sphere. So if I do get Thorngil, I'll be able to bring out Spirit Aragorn, and hopefully things will work a little more smoothly. So I'll put him on top of my sideboard here. Okay, so as I look at my hand, I'm actually pretty happy with what I have. I do have Thorngil in my starting hand, thank goodness, and I have the Red Book of Westmarch here, and so I'll be able to quest, and I'll be able to access some spirit stuff. I do have Rosie for defense, and I have the dagger. What I would like to see is maybe some readying effects, so Unexpected Courage, or better would be Fast Hitch, but at least for now it's fine. So I'm going to keep this hand, and I'm going to shuffle these guys back into my deck here. So now we set up the quest. It says make the Eastamnet. I'm not sure if that's Estamnet, Eastamnet, Eastmet, like column has an MN together, so I'm not sure exactly the pronunciation of that, but leave a comment. Let me know how to pronounce it. So add Ugluk into Isengard to the staging area. So then I choose, and so I did that, and then I choose a hero to be captive, which I picked at the end of the last scenario. Set the pursuit value up to 10. So I think it's important to talk about this pursuit value on this card here.
Legolas, what do your elf eyes see?
The Uruks turn northeast. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard.
This is the way that the quest is timing us through the scenario. Our job is to catch up to the hobbits that have been captured. Now, thematically, Merry is the one that's being captured. I didn't pick Merry for that particular reason, but as we race to try to catch up with the Uruks, the encounter deck is going to seek to put more counters onto Isengard. So that's going to really be a source of contention, question mark, I guess, at some point, because there's just going to be a lot of stress. But hopefully we can get through location like the Eastamnet here at the beginning and make some progress on to the quest before this gets to be too high. So right now this is set at 10, and when you flip over the current quest card, you'll see that this is where the creativity of the designer comes into play, where whatever that pursuit value is how many quest points you need in order to clear the quest. This is a real balancing act here. So you don't want to go too quickly, because one of the things that I've noticed is Ugluk has 10 engagement cost. So if his engagement cost is 10, that means he's going to come down right away. And he also can't be defended by anybody other than heroes, and that's going to be a challenge. But there's archery in this scenario too, so having healing and damage prevention out would also work or help, but so far I haven't been able to get much of that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how this works, and hopefully this is the time through the scenario that I can actually win. So we'll start a new round. We get Andrew right away. So here's the thing. I want to play 9 resources worth of stuff. I want to play Andrew, I want to play Thorngil, and I want to play the Red Book of Westmarch. And I only have 4 heroes, so that means I'm going to have to wait at least 3 rounds to do it. But what I can do is I can play this and bring out Thorngil. I'm going to bring out the spirit version of Aragorn. I had the image overlaid on Mirland, so that's why when I hover over the card, it gives Mirland as the title. And I think I can now get through here. So let's do this. I'll quest for 2, 3, 6, 8. And the beauty of Bilbo here is that Bilbo can target Ugluk and cancel out his threat. So I'm questing for 8 with no threat in the staging area, and that's refreshing. It says, when revealed, each character committed to the quest gets -1 until the end of the round. Okay, so I have 4 characters committed to the quest, so that's -4. I still clear the Estimnet, and I make 1 progress. After clearing the Estimnet, I get 1 resource on each of my heroes. I think I'm feeling pretty good right now. Okay, that's what I've said the past 4 playthroughs. Now, it's the end of combat. Even though there's nothing to engage in combat with, the combat phase still happens. So at the end of combat, I put a counter here.
Their pace is quickened. They must have caught our scent.
Hurry!
Come on, Gimli!
3 days of night's pursuit. No food, no rest. No sign of our quarry, but what bare rock can tell.
And then at the end of the refresh phase, I put another counter here. So now, oh man, okay, so I will put the Red Book of Westmarch into play. I will put Gaffer Gamgee into play, and then I'm going to also put the Dagger of Westerness down. And then do I put Anduril into play, or do I not put Anduril into play? I think for safety reasons, because I get enemies and things like that, I'm going to keep Anduril in my hand. So I will start questing now. 9. I'm going to leave Gaffer up because there's a treachery in here that's horrible that does 1 damage to all my questing heroes, or questing characters, and I want to keep Gaffer in the game. So I'm questing for 9, and there's 0 in the staging area. Either immediately end the quest phase and increase or deal 1 damage to each character committed to the quest. There it is. That's what I didn't want to do. So I will do 1 damage to each of my questing characters. Now I can only handle that once. Okay. And so now I'm able to put 9 progress on the current quest. So that feels really good right now. So combat happens, but even at the end of combat, I have to put a thing here. And then at the end of the refresh phase, I'll put something there. Move on to the next round. So I get a sneak attack. Sneak attack isn't really helping me much, but I can put Anduril onto Aragorn.
Andúril, a flame of the west, forged from the shards of Narsil.
So I will pay for that. And the beauty is, again, Ugluk is immune to player card effects, so that's going to help, hopefully, if I have to engage him this round. Okay, so, and again, I quested successfully, but I forgot to trigger the Red Book of Westmarch. I always feel like if it's the next round, it's too late. Even though nothing has happened, I just feel like it's too late. But I will not forget again, because I'm going to need the Red Book. It's exactly the resource acceleration that I need to keep Gaffer Gamgee in play. I will quest for 5, I guess another 9. And I will roll the dice that I get through this stage. So there it is. When revealed, either assign 3 damage among characters you control or reveal an extra encounter card. So I'm actually going to deal 3 damage among characters I control, and that's going to be all on Aragorn. And this guy has archery 2, and that's not very nice, but I can soak at least 1 more archery. Okay, so that's 2. And so that's 7 progress. I'm able to move on. So then now I get an Uruk and put it into play in the staging area. So I think that I will put this guy in the staging area just because he doesn't have any archery, and right now I'm running low on targets for archery. So unfortunately, archery happens at the beginning of the turn. So I will put an archery here and an archery here, and that's about the best I got. Oh, I did quest successfully, so I'm going to give Falco my extra resource. And then this guy, I'm going to have to engage, and then I get to ready Sam. I don't know if I can actually do this or not, but I am going to try. So Sam is defending for 3 right now. So I'm going to play... Oh, let me make sure that I do this right here. Okay, deal shadow cards. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this guy's attack using Gaffer. Okay, so this guy is not a factor right now. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use sneak attack, and I'm going to sneak attack Rosie Cotton into play.
Rosie Cotton dancing. She had ribbons in her hair. If ever I was to marry someone, it would have been her.
And then what Rosie Cotton allows me to do is to take Sam and add 2 defense to him. I will defend with Sam. So Sam's defending for 5, and that's exactly what I have here. He's got a bonus plus Tireless Ranger's 3, and then Rosie gives him 5. And I don't have a way to cancel that shadow effect. So I will use 2, and I will ready Sam, and I will put a shadow here, and I will defend again. No shadow. Okay, so now I think the thing to do at this point is I really have to use Leaf Wrapped Limbus. I have to exhaust all my heroes. I think actually what I what I really should do is attack this guy for... Oh, that's not enough. So it doesn't even matter. So I'm going to use Leaf Wrapped Limbus to ready everybody and then see what I can do to try to put some distance between me and these orcs. Okay, so somehow I have to be able to do 9 to Ugluk. So what I can do for that is I can exhaust Sam. Sam is attacking for 5 because of the... Oh, nope, that's if it's engagement cost. So he's attacking for 4, and Aragorn's for 4, and Bilbo for 1. So that kills Ugluk. Ugluk goes into the victory display. I remove a pursuit token, so I'm down to 13. So this goes up to 1 because of the passive effect here, the forced effect. And I'm going to play this. Rosie goes back into my hand. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to target Bilbo here. I'm going to quest for 3. And 2 is 14. Here's the funny thing. If I get a 2-cost location, I can trigger this Aragorn. I can ready Aragorn, I can trigger this Aragorn. If I get a treachery that... I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm super nervous right now. 14, and there's 0 in the staging area. Oh, man. Maybe I just quested through this. I don't know. We'll see. So, okay, here we go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I just got the walled. Its engagement, its threat is 2. So what I could do now is I can remove 2 tokens to ready Aragorn, and then I can exhaust Aragorn to reduce the location threat by 2. Actually, it reduces it by 3. It reduces it by Aragorn's willpower. And he's got 3 willpower. And so I'm able to take this, put a progress token on it, and that reduces it to 0. And I just made 14 progress on the on the quest. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that to happen. Holy cow. What is going on? So here's a quest where Spirit Aragorn saved my hide and Tactics Bilbo saved my hide. Holy cow. I am shocked and excited that just happened. I cannot believe that I was able to catch up to these guys. I would have died. I had nothing else. I had no other places to put archery on these guys. I would have had to killed off a hero, which would have been a loss for me. Wow. Okay, I did quest successfully too, so this guy gets a damage. He does toughness, so holy cow. Well, I caught up to those guys quick. Okay, well, let's resolve the campaign here. And it says if the pursuit value is 25 or lower, thank goodness it is 25 or lower, the players must choose. Earns a skill. We haven't done Beyond All Hope, so I will choose from the skills here. Okay, so I put all these boons out here that I earn. It says Intimidation, Hands of a Healer, Forewarned, and Leader of Men. And I would love to use some of these other boons in other playthroughs, but unfortunately, because of my Hobbit deck and the way that it's set up, the only one that I can take that makes sense is Forewarned. Now, I'm not upset that I have to take Forewarned, but I needed the defense early on, so that's why I grabbed Tireless Ranger. And so the only thing that I can do is attach this to a Ranger hero. Hobbits don't have any other traits associated with them, so I can't use Intimidation, I can't use Hands of a Healer, and I can't use Leader of Men. So I will add Forewarned to my campaign pool. And then it says, if you had a fallen hero, you can bring a hero back. And I know that there's some weird things about how the contract interacts with this because it says you can only control 3 heroes. So I'll probably address that at the very beginning of the next scenario. But so there it is. Let me add Forewarned to my campaign log. And also let's see what my score is. 59. I did this in 4 rounds. So I played this. This is June 10th. And my final score was 59. And I have earned Forewarned as a boon here. Okay. I also used Leaf Wrapped Lembas, and so that gets removed from the campaign pool now forever and ever. And I will tell you that I am not upset in the way that I was able to use this. Okay, so next quest is Helm's Deep, maybe one of the most iconic first half scenarios in all of the saga. So hope you enjoy and have a great day, everybody.